Hey guys, how's it going? Daniel here, and today I want to do a quick video of Google's new podcast app for Android. So finally, Google decided to finally get serious with podcasting on Android and by releasing a dedicated podcast app for Android, which is pretty cool. So instead of mixing it in with Google Music, which did not make sense at the time. But now Google finally released a standalone app, Google Podcast. So this is how it will look when you open it up the app. So these are some of the podcasts here I enjoy listening to when I'm out and about. And then when you scroll down, of course, you have your For You section. And your For You section is where, of course, you'll see new episodes that you have lined up, shows in progress, downloads as well. Oops. And then when you scroll down, of course, just like every other podcast app, you have your top podcasts that are, of course, trending right now. And, of course, trending podcasts. Podcasts in comedy, so of course, just like every other podcast, you have them in categories as well. But then, of course, when you scroll all the way down, you get to start seeing some podcasts that maybe the company that you subscribe to creates more. So as you can see, I currently subscribed to Connected by Relay FM, and so it shows me other podcasts from that company as well. And as well, of course, popular with listeners of the Bill Simmons podcast here as well. And then, of course, popular with listeners of Vergecast. So here are other podcasts that the app thinks I will enjoy listening to based on my subscribe of the podcast. So, of course, just like almost every other app that Google releases now, it does use AI to try to guess what type of podcast you'll want to enjoy, which is, of course, really neat because it's pretty cool. And then, of course, in the bottom here where you have your play, of course, area, that's your little player right there you get to control. So from here, pretty cool how it's this little UI design change. You could change, of course, the speed of the podcast. I always like keeping it to 1.5. It just works for me. And then, of course, you just tap and it disappears as well. But one neat feature, of course, with this app is this. So when you open up a podcast episode, so like this one or like Connected, you could click right here on the three little button and you can actually add this podcast to your home screen. So you just go to add to home screen and then add automatically, and then when you go to the middle, it will pop up like kind of like a new little app you downloaded. And of course, when you open it up, it takes you right to the page of the Connected podcast, and it shows you, of course, every other episode. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's the new Google Podcast app that Google released earlier today for Android. It's making its round around the world, so you should be able to download it by now. It took me maybe 2 hours for it to come to Canada, but now I'm able to listen and enjoy podcasts here on Android with the dedicated Google Podcast app. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And as always, I will see you guys later. Peace.